Hello and welcome to the Days Gone By campaign. We're doing Chapter 2, City Slicker. Leaving his friends behind, Rick undertakes a long journey to Atlanta to find his family, forced to travel on horseback. In that case, we're going to put Rick on a horse. This scenario also starts with 12 walkers on the board already. As we got all the supply counters in the previous mission, we get an extra 20 points worth of equipment, with that being 40 points in total. As we're putting Rick on a horse, that's 20 points. And then I decided to take Rick's hatchet for 15 points. And with the final 5 points, we'll just take some bandages. The victory conditions for this mission are really easy. All we have to do is escape off the top board edge. Though we do want to collect the supply counters to earn extra points to make the next mission easier. Without any further ado, let's get on with turn 1. As the threat tracker starts at 4 on this mission, and we always make noise when moving on a horse, I'm going to hold my nerve and put the threat tracker back down to 3. With this mission, you could quite easily run 12 up the board and then run off the board on your second turn, making the mission really easy. But we need the supply counters for the next mission. So I'm going to move Rick into contact with the car, but not into contact with the walker, because you always make noise, which is going to drag the walker into me anyway. And now we've got to check the kill zone. Just make sure that walker behind Rick isn't in his kill zone. Nope, we're all good there. And now an event card. Okay, so we got frayed nerves. Because Rick doesn't have low nerve, we just have to put the threat tracker up by 1, which will suit us just fine. And now we're on to the melee phase, which will also put the threat tracker up by 1. Now Rick gets 1 white dice for his melee, and he gets 1 white dice for the Rick's hatchet that we took, so we get 2. And I got 3, but no crits, and the walker got a blank, which means the walker gets pushed back and put us prone. Now the final bit for this turn, does this walker get back up? Yes, she does. Okay, so as we were. Beginning of turn 2, the threat tracker goes up by 1 again, so we're now up to 6. And I'm going to take the supply counter, search the vehicle, and what do we get? Got a metal pipe. Okay, don't really need to use that one. And now for my second action, let's go see if I can get the other supply counter. So we're going to move with the horse. Horse always makes noise. We need to move it so we're in base contact with the vehicle, but not in base contact with the walker. So that will do it. Horse makes noise, walker comes in. And now we just need to check the kill zones, make sure that one's not in, that one's fine. Time to see what the next event card is. And we have got roamers. We're still at low threat. 1 eligible walker towards the nearest survivor. Well, that's going to be the walker behind Rick, so we'll move him straight in. Now it's the melee phase. +1 to the threat tracker. Again, Rick gets 1 white dice. Normally, 1 for Rick's hatchet. See what we get. Ooh, 1. Walkers have 3 red dice. And I've taken 2 damage. And I'm going to take the 2 damage. I'm not losing my horse. Not yet, anyway. Rick is now down to 4 health. And I lost the combat, so I need to get moved back, which means I can't get the supply counter straight away next turn. That wasn't really the best outcome. There's no prone walkers and nothing to do in the end phase, so we move on to the next turn. We begin turn 3 by putting the threat tracker up by 1, so we're now on 8. And for my first action, I think I'm going to use the bandage and recover 1 health point. Okay, now for my second action, need to move into the police car. Same tactics, try to get into base contact with the vehicle. So hopefully I can win the combat, push the walkers back, and then collect. But I need to move that one in because of noise. And now I need to check the kill zones. That one's not in, that one is. So that's 2 walkers in against Rick. Now for the event card. We're still at low threat because we're on 8. So we move 1 eligible walker towards the nearest survivor. Well, that's the one just in front of Rick. So that's now 3 walkers in base contact with Rick. Now for the melee phase, that's the threat tracker up to 9. I get 2 white dice with Rick. Let's have a look here. This is going to be tough. I got a critical, so I get to add a red dice to the roll. Come on. And no, that's a blank. So I've got 3 damage, 1 crit. But the walkers get 6 dice. And they did 3 damage. Oh, it's a tie. I get to push the walkers back. I mean, I am willing to take the risk. I'm still on horseback, means I can nullify all damage at 1 point. But I'm happy with that outcome. And now for the end phase, I can't seem to kill walkers, let alone knock them down. So there's nothing to roll. So we'll move straight on to turn 4. And the threat tracker goes up by 1. That puts it up to 10. And for my first action, I'm going to grab that supply. So we'll chuck that one on Rick. And what do we get? So we've got some bandages, replacing the ones we used earlier. And now, my second action. Same tactics apply. We're just going to move the horse in base contact with the truck. As we make noise, the closest walker is going to come into base contact with Rick. So it really all depends on what event card we pull. But first off, we've got to check the kill zone. He's out. And she is out as well. Now for the event card. And we have the herd. So we're at medium threat. We need to pick 1 walker to move towards the nearest survivor. And then all walkers within 8 move towards that walker. And all prone walkers stand up. There isn't any prone walkers. So now to pick a walker. I'm not going to pick a walker that's going to get Rick surrounded, obviously. I'm going to go for the one that looks like he's been working in the mechanics. And we'll shamble him 6 inches towards Rick. All walkers within 8 inches of him now need to move towards him. So just check how many that is. Okay. Let's start moving them. That one first moves just into the police car. Straight in. Straight in. We'll keep them coming. Next. Is that one in range? Yes. And finally, the last one in range needs to shamble and will get stopped by the barricade. That is all the walkers moved. Kill zones. Melee. Threat up by 1. I get 2 white dice. I got a crit, so I'll roll the dice anyway, even though I don't need to. 5 damage total. Walker can't defend it. Roll the dice anyway. And that is that Walker dead. So the end of turn 4, the threat tracker is at 11. We've got a herd of walkers right in the middle. We still have 2 supply crates to collect. It could start getting a bit tricky, but let's move on to turn 5. The threat counter goes straight up to 12. And my first action, I'm going to take the supply counter. So let's see what we get. So we get an ammo reload. I'll just put that in the horse. And now, my second action. Just got to go for it. So I'm going to run. Well, not run, but I'm going to move 12 inches straight up and through past the whole horde of walkers, which causes noise. So that closest walker is going to come into me. Now to check the kill zones. Nothing there. Event card time. Let's do this. So what do we get? We have got won't stay down. Medium threat. I need to roll 1 blue dice. And I also had to add 1 to the threat level because there are no prone walkers. So let's get this. I rolled a 3. Okay. So I've got to shamble 3 walkers straight towards Rick. Right, we'll start with the one with the tank top. He's probably closest. That barrier's not going to get in the way. So we'll shamble him in. The other walker will make room. So that's 2. Now the one in the suit. Barrier also doesn't get in the way. So that's 3. Next closest walker is the one in the yellow top. I'll get the tape measure for this bit. Move him 3 down. 3 across. Yes, he also gets into base contact against Rick. So that's 4 walkers against Rick on the horse. This might hurt a little bit. There's nothing to do with the kill zone template. So now melee. +1 to the threat. Now at 14. And here goes. Rick gets his normal 2 white dice. Let's get this rolling. And I got a 2. Ooh. And the walkers, they get 10 dice in total. Ouch. Here we go. Let's get them rolled. And the walkers do. We'll remove 2 hits. We'll remove the misses. And that leaves us 7 damage. 7 damage means we're going to lose the horse. We take no damage through that course of melee, but we lose the horse and we also lose the ammo reload that was being carried by the horse. Right, so I'll put this down. I need to grab Rick on foot model. Those walkers are going to be there munching on the horse. And now, because I lost the combat, Rick needs to go back 1 inch away from the walkers. There is nothing to do in the end phase, so that ends this turn. So we'll move straight on to the next turn. Threat tracker goes up by 1, so it's now on 15. And my first action, just got to go for it. I'm going to sneak towards the back of the vehicle. And my second action, I'm going to search the final supply crate. And what do we get? Nope. We got a tire iron. Well, I'm just going to put that in my item slots. Because we're still using Rick's hatchet. It's better. Kill zone time. None of them in the kill zone. Event card. And we get distracted. That will do. Even at high threat, it's a quality card because it means I can roll a blue dice and move that many walkers in the direction of my choice. You gotta like these supply cards. So when it was all looking bad, only 1, but it doesn't matter. When it was all looking bad, I get the card that can save me. So I'll just move one walker, shambling 6 away from me. The end phase, there's no prone walkers, that's it. Move straight on to the next turn. The threat tracker goes up by 1 again. So we're now up to 16 threat. But it doesn't matter because my first action, I'm going to sneak off the escape edge and complete this mission with all the supply counters. So when it comes to the next one, I do get the extra points. It's a shame we lost the horse, but hey, saved my life. Right, well, that's that one. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.